Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to be talking about Valentine. So, the reason I'm talking about this movie, as you all know, Valentine's Day is coming up tomorrow. It's currently Valentine's Day Eve, so I thought I would get festive with it. That's something that I like to do. I only started doing it uh, a couple years ago, and that's something that I'm talking about is watching, getting festive and watching holiday horror films. You got your Christmas horror films, you got your Thanksgiving horror films, you got your Valentine's Day horror films. You got a horror film out there for every holiday. So that's something fun. I like to get festive with it. You know, order a nice Valentine's heart-shaped pizza, get some nice Valentine's candy, watch a nice Valentine's horror film. You already know. So, just to get into my overall opinion of this movie, I'm gonna be 100% honest with y'all. With you all, I meant to say, but y'all is fine too. But I'm not Southern or anything. I'm not trying to be a fake MF over here. I'm trying to keep it real for the most part. I don't know. I mean, no, like 100% real. That's how you got to do it. It is the internet. I could lie. I could be like, hey, I'm a billionaire. I'm a trillionaire. Would you all believe me? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm just trolling. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, my opinion of this movie. I was not really a big fan of this. There were a couple things that I liked, but yeah, for the most part, I was not a fan. Getting into my likes, I liked the Valentine's Day setting. I thought they did a really good job with that. All the decorations, all the set dressings. There was this Valentine's party. That was cool. You have throughout the movie they're trying to get dates for the party. They go on this speed dating thing. There's just a lot of dating, and there's with the dating aspects of the movie, there's a lot of comedy because a lot of the guys that the girls meet, they're just total duds. Like there's this one guy, he just always talks in the third person. He's like, Jason is gonna do this, Jason is gonna do that. Like all these, and then there's this running joke too where every single guy they meet is like, yeah, I'm 6 footish, which is funny because I think that's a thing now. I think I read that on Google or something, like just on my Google feed, that like people on dating apps lie about their height. They'll say they're 6 feet, but they'll end up being like 5'2". Like MFs are catfishing out here, man. You gotta watch out. But I liked, like I said, the Valentine's theme. I feel like they did a good job with all the dating stuff. It was a little bit funny, but it really had the Valentine's Day feel. Another thing that I liked is the mask. You had the Cupid mask. It's Valentine's Day, Cupid, and I feel like this is technically a slasher movie, so, in a lot of slasher movies, it's nice to have an iconic mask. I thought the mask was good. It wasn't scary, but how are you going to make a Cupid mask scary? It was nice for the holiday, and, it was pretty iconic. And the last thing that I liked is the story. I liked the setup in the beginning with the kid at the dance. A lot of horror movies, especially slasher movies, especially 80s slasher movies, they have a tragic setup. Like in the beginning of The Burning, Cropsey gets burned. In the beginning of Prom Night, the kids kill the other kid. I like this had the tragic setup, and it it's kind of a whodunit, but if that is the killer, it gives him a motive. It's that revenge motive. You know, a lot of slash movies, it's a revenge motive. The killer was wronged in some way in the past, so I really like that. Even though it was a 2001 movie, that aspect of it did give it like an 80s slasher feel. And while I'm on the topic of slasher movies, I'm just gonna get into my dislikes now. So one of my main dislikes is, like I'm saying, this is pretty much a slasher movie. In my opinion, the kills were not very good. There weren't that the kills, they weren't that creative, and even if they were creative, there was very little blood or gore in this movie. Like, most of the kills were cutaways. There were two standout kills. There's this one kill where the Cupid killer shoots this girl with a bunch of arrows, and you all know, Cupid has the arrows, so I thought that was creative. That was fun. And then there's this kill involving a hot tub where this girl is trapped under glass, and the killer is like drilling, so she has to make sure not to drown, and she has to like go up for air. She can barely go up for air, but at the same time he's like drilling at the top, so it's like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna drown, or are you gonna get drilled to death? And spoiler alert, she ends up getting electrocuted. But that kill was just super tense. I was actually scared. Like, I just put myself in that situation. I'm like, what are you gonna do? Because, like, you know, I'm scared of. I always think like drowning would be super scary. So, like, you either drown in the hot tub or you get a drill to the face, and I'm claustrophobic too. So you're like in this small space. That kill was creative, but it was effective. It was scary. That's another thing too. One of my dislikes is this movie is not really scary. A lot of slasher movies aren't scary, but other than that hot tub scene, the movie was not scary, in my opinion. Let me just check some other dislikes that I wrote down here. Yeah, and another thing is, I did find this movie very slow and boring. So I feel like the pacing was off. There wasn't, like I said, a lot of scary moments, a lot of tense moments, and all the moments with the killer, I feel like there were not that many moments with the killer, and they would only be for a second, and then it would just follow the main girls doing whatever random stuff, which was fine, but I feel like the pacing could have been a little bit tighter. I mean, this was like an hour and 36 minutes. It could have been like an hour and 25 minutes, an hour and 30 minutes. They could have cut out a lot of just the main characters talking. Like I said, I liked some of that stuff. Like, the doing the speed dating, going on dates. Some of that was fun and funny, but I don't know, some of the stuff that wasn't involving the actual killer, wasn't involving the tense, suspenseful stuff. It was just kind of boring to me. But I think at this point I probably should give you all a little plot synopsis, because I haven't really done that yet. So basically, there's a flashback in middle school. These main group of girls that we follow, they rejected this one kid, and they thought he was a loser. They didn't want to dance with him, and instead of just like saying like, oh no thanks, I don't want to dance, like they were just super mean to him. And then one of their friends who's a little bit thicker, she gets with him, and then these kids find out, and they're like, making fun of them, and and she doesn't want to be seen making out with this dude, but that was like the only attention she got the whole night. But once she got caught making out with him, she just said, "Oh no, I wasn't voluntarily making out with him. He attacked me. This is forced." And then all the kids attacked him, and then this led to him being sent to reform school and juvie, and he went on this whole downward spiral, and these girls basically ruined his life. And when they're adults, they're not even really remorseful. They're still like calling him a loser, and they're like, "Remember when we made fun of that?" Like, they're not even really remorseful. That's what I'm saying. The female leads in this, I didn't really care that much about them, because they weren't like sympathetic characters that I could root for. They're kind of like mean, It's like they never like evolved. They never like, you think they would be like, "Wow, that was bad that we did that," and that and then they're still calling him a loser. Like, what makes him a loser? What? Because he had glasses and some buck teeth? Like, this is just rude. Like, the dude was like mad confident. He was just shooting his shot at like every girl at the dance, asking nicely. Like, I don't have confidence like that. Like, that dude had game for days. Like, you ladies were just being hella rude to that fool. But anyways, continuing with the story recap. So then, that's when they were in middle school. Then it fast forward to when they're adults. One of their friends gets killed, and they're being pursued. They get these Valentine's letters from someone with the initials JM, which is, they're these like evil Valentine's letters that are like, "I'm gonna kill you," but it's like written like a riddle, like, how like the Riddler and what was that, Batman Forever? I forgot which one, but the one with Jim Carrey, he would like write those weird cards. It was like that, but like a death threat. So basically, these girls, they're getting these death threats in the form of Valentine's cards, and their initial JM, which is the initials of the kid who they, humiliated in middle school. So yeah, that is the basic story. It's kind of it is a whodunit, but I was confused, because I was like, well, I think the killer's just gonna be that guy from the beginning, but then I'm like, no, they're probably not gonna do that, because that would be too obvious. So it probably is a whodunit. And there are some red herrings. There's like a new boyfriend and so and so's boyfriend and blah blah blah. So it's a whodunit, and the twist I thought was executed well. Like, I didn't guess the twist. It totally shocked me. But then when I thought about it, like, it didn't make a lot of sense. So it was executed well. It totally caught me by surprise. But I just, when I like thought about it, I was like, I don't know if that makes sense. It kind of ends on like a cliffhanger. And horror movies always do that. Like, oh, kind of ends on like a downer cliffhanger. Where it's like, oh, this person is evil. Dun dun dun. So that's the basic plot recap. Now I'm gonna get into some WTF moments, and then I'm gonna wrap things up here in a second. So kind of a WTF moment that I already mentioned was the guy who was talking in the third person. That was pretty funny. I liked that. He was just a total weirdo. He had absolutely no game or self-awareness. I don't know, like, dude thought he was like the shiznit, but yeah, he should have just like, took a step back, chillaxed. He was a handsome enough guy. He could have been killing it, but he had to just be a total freakazoid. I don't know what's up with that, but that's a WTF moment. Another WTF moment is one of the girls is, her family is pretty loaded, and she has this new boyfriend, and he's staying with her. And after knowing this dude for a month, you want to guess what Valentine's Day present she gives him? Yo, this chick gives this dude an effing Rolex, like a $20,000 watch, $25,000 watch, after knowing him for a month. Plus, it's just Valentine's Day. It's not like their marriage anniversary. It's not like a birthday. I mean, I don't really know, but I feel like people don't go that crazy on Valentine's Day. Maybe I'm just not very well versed, because I'm not out here, macking like that. But I was like, you're gonna buy someone a $24,000 watch for Valentine's Day, and you barely know him? What? Are you nuts? Even if you are rich, even if you're super rich, like, you can just afford to just throw away 20 grand. Who's that rich? Even if you're a multi-million-dollar, yeah, I can't speak sometimes. Even if you're a multi-millionaire, you're not just gonna give someone you don't even know a $20,000 watch and just throw it away. Like, what? I don't know. I thought I was just shaking my head. That was funny too, because that same guy, he totally, there was this whole sequence where they just got done getting intimate. I'm trying to be, not too crazy on here. I swear a little bit, but I don't want to be too crazy. But yeah, they were having intercourse. I sound like such a nerd, but yeah, they were having sex. They're having sex, and he's like, he basically like finished too early, and he's like, yeah, I don't know what the deal was. He's just like totally ashamed. So I thought that was funny. I mean, he still got the Rolex, so whatever. I mean, he was just mad disappointed though. You could just tell he felt real bad. But that was kind of tight though. He had the little sugar mama action going on. Got that fat crib to stay at, got a nice Rolex, and I mean, that girl was, an attractive woman, so I mean, good situation. So another WTF moment. This is my last WTF moment, and like I said, I already, talked about everything else, so this is pretty much the last thing I'm going to talk about here. Another WTF moment is, there's this guy, and he asks one of the girls to go upstairs, and he basically is just asking to get head, but he's pretty rude about it. He's like a little bit too forward, and it's like they don't even know each other, and he acted like it was some big surprise, and he's like pretty much like demanding her, not like forcing her, but he's kind of being a bit of a dick. So this girl wants to mess with him and ties him up, and I'm like, okay, that's justified. He was kind of being a dick. She's just gonna tie him up and leave him there. But no, she proceeds to get a candle and drip hot candle wicks. Wicks. I cannot speak in any of my videos. That's very unprofessional. I won't stand for it. But anyways, she proceeds to drip hot wax on this dude's package. Like, you'll be scarred for life. Your dangling will be looking like Freddy Krueger for the rest of your life. Like, your thing will be all kinds of extra crispy, man. So I was just like, okay, you would severely disfigure his package. He would probably have to go to the hospital. That's like assault. Like, what the heck? It's like, you're gonna drip hot wax on someone's package? I thought she was just gonna tie him up. That would have been justified. Yeah, he was being a bit of a dick. You want to tie him up and leave him there for the rest of the night? That's a good comeback. That's fun, but you're gonna drop. I mean, I'm a dude, so then I was, you know, you know how when you watch horror movies, you can almost feel, not really feel the pain, but you can like imagine like, oh man, they got their throat slit. Like you'll kind of cringe, like, oh, that would hurt so bad. Like I was just as a dude thinking like, that would hurt terribly. Hot wax on the package, man. Come on, get out of here. But yeah, I that was another WTF moment. I was just like, that's a little bit of a harsh punishment there, you know, just a little bit. But like I said a little while ago, that was really the last point I wanted to hit. So I'm about to sign off here in a second, but I would like to wish you all a very happy Valentine's Day, and peace out.